your children or your grandchildren can also inherit that legacy. So it's very important for you to secure your wealth. So your wealth in business, in your health. So in insurance, we deal with life and non-life. Anything pertaining to you, life, you need to preserve it. That's wealth. Anything pertaining non-life, you have to preserve it. That's preserving your wealth, and it's very important to preserve your wealth. And hopefully by the end of this session, we'll give you 1-2 ways of how you can preserve your wealth. Thank you.
Yeah, so you are the ones who are causing all kinds of ruckus online, giving people good information about how to invest their money. So Sarah, please tell us what you do in terms. Tell us what you tell people and what you try to share with them.
Thank you very much. So, I mean, what they said is spot on. And what I'll add to it is that, I mean, a lot of us, in some way or the other, we make money, right? Whether it's a gift or whether it's even from your job, you were making some earning. But making money alone will not lead to, or having access to money alone does not lead to wealth creation. The only way that you lead to wealth creation is when you multiply it. So first of all, I like to say that I'll put wealth creation in maybe 3 baskets. You earn money, you control money, and then you multiply money. So earning money from the different sources. It can be from your, as I said, salary. Now, even when it comes to earning capacity, yesterday one of the panelists said, we should take advantage of social media. There's we don't have an excuse but to make money. There are so many ways that, I mean, taking advantage of the gig economy, so many ways that we can make money online. But once you make the money, let me just add that the average millionaire, you can say Sikafua, at least, do you mind if I
Chinglish, go through.
They have at least 7 streams of income, meaning that the average rich people that you know, all their money is not coming from one place. They have at least 7 sources, different places where they're. So ask yourself, how many sources do you have right now, right? So we need to ask ourselves that. And so once we finish earning the money, we realize that we are earning money. Then we have to control it. The fact that you are making 100 cedis or even 1,000 cedis at the end of the month doesn't mean that you should spend the same 1,000 cedis at the end of the month. If you make 1,000 and you spend 1,000, and after the end of the month is 0, you are not doing the right thing. You need to be able to control the money. Know, first of all, where the money is going. If I ask anybody here, how many people have bought data this week? Have spent money on, even this morning? Great. You spent money. How much of your money have you spent this whole year? Do you know how much you spent on data this whole year? It's a lot, right? You can't tell. But guess what? If you knew where the money was going, you would be able to tell. So when the money comes, look, there are so many needs. If I dash you 1,000 cedis right now, by the time you walk out and pass the exhibit, it will be gone. Because before when someone promises you money, before the money comes, you have already spent it in your head. It's gone. So it's important that before we even receive the money, we plan it. Know that at least anytime I get money, I'm going to, in simple terms, divide it into 3 and say that 50% of that money is going to go towards the needs, the things that I can't live without: food, rent, maybe school fees, like the needs, right? Then at least 20%, 20% has to go towards investments. We'll talk about that. Has to go towards the future, has to go towards the wealth creation, right? And then 30% is the ones that you can use for your other things that, are not so, you don't need, but you want. You're going out and all those things. So that is the second. You need to know where the money goes. So every money, even if somebody dashes you money, please make sure that you at least split it into 3. 20% is very important, has to go towards investment and something that will help you to multiply. And so then I come to the third bracket, which is multiplying your money, the multiplication. Yes, I know that now most of us are doing susu. We are keeping it in the susu box. But guess what? You are losing money by keeping that money in the susu box. So you need to invest it. You need to grow it. There are so many ways that you can grow your money. I'm sure a lot of you us know treasury bills. Means that you give your money to government. Government, when they borrow it for 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, they will pay you something at the end of the period, at the end of the 3 months or at the end of the 6 months. That's one. That's treasury bill. Another option is, how many of us use MTN here? How much money have you made from MTN this year? Nothing. Meanwhile, you have been giving money to MTN. This is not advice, but there are other, you can invest in businesses. Okay, so you can invest in a business like MTN. And we call that investing in the stock market. So we call that investing in the stock market. So by investing in a business like MTN, if you had invested in MTN in 2018, you would have becoming an owner of MTN, you needed about just 75 pesos to become per share, to become a part owner of MTN. So if you had bought 1,000 shares, 75 pesos times 1,000, if you had invested 1,000 cedis, divided by 75 pesos. Today, if you wanted to sell your shares, you won't be selling it at 75 pesos. You'll be selling it at 6 cedis per share. So you see, you would have made this money from this same MTN that you are spending money from. So maybe I will pause. Okay. A baby. Oh yeah. Please, I'm saying I'm ever so. Pardon me, the Ofori is a borrowed name. Okay, so once you must be our businesses, businesses. Ye na ye name MTN. MTN in 2018. What happens is MTN in 2018. Omo be raise, omo be pay sika ewo public. In exchange for that, no, to say made me business basis, yana make us a misika. Sikana imagine mean to ya obako, but make a choice. Sikana imagine in exchange, ubeba beye, also beba beye part owner of my business. Into ube to me abo wakumas okoko so aka say MTN media. What he say because usika shim. In 2018, and omoba and omobe BA say Ghanaians and so ye person mobeye shareholders of MTN. Into ye make it profit ye di bibe mamo. Matia say you make it profit. I bet me the biya mama. And now, great, hallelujah. In fact, yes, In this some one more shares no in 2018 no. Almost no 25 pesos. In this enka odi usika to 1,000 Ghana, 1,000 cedis in 2018 now. Enka ubenya 1,333 shares in 2018. Se ende opese oton sa shares na okasa MTN menimu ejai mempese meye investments ni biemu a se okoton wo marketer stock market ni so baby aye ton shares na if any stock market Ghana stock market so opese woton wa ene obeton no around at least 6 cedis 6 cedis nkasa 1,000 ene woton anka wenya 8,000. Difference near 7,000. This was just between 2018 and now. Enka, yes. Enka neno enka wanya 8,000. I mean, oh yeah, last year January mo anka na once 2 CDs at the beginning of the year. And 6 cedis. But no interest. Since a business, it to me cost show, it to me cost firm. Into what say business, cost stock market. You have to have a very long term. I say what during 5 years, 10 years. Even say I kasa kram. What's a kasa preko? Why name kasa preko? One nom alomone Alomo bitters. One more year any awake mineral water. Omokra as we speak. Omo bie. Omo ton shares 1 CD 20 pesos per share. Omo be ende first. Omo be ende first June. This on Monday. Ebe ende on Monday. And no say so is an opportunity. But I was all business now say adenti na nyese company bia yinti make say my music na do sika akọ. I was say ote business na say then omo ye business you mo be koswa awo ho. Ofa a company like MTN say company no eda ho be koswa awo ho. Why na be close like say omo no mo ye the biggest what I say. Those are some of the things share.
Yeah, and essentially, no, who do seek out two business na say and your business be an do seek a better say. It's a so share business of who say Bejina or Mobeko winning. Now would the okay, Mimi, me pacho, Fevika Homaye.
Jamaica English.
Okay.
Okay. Inti sorry. So we would all agree that we work very hard, right? Who does not work hard? We work very hard, and we were probably kids when we saw our parents work very hard. But we realized that after all the hard work, maybe they retire or they are gone, and it's as if there was no work because nothing has been left. You have to start again from scratch. And it's also looking like you're about to do the same thing. And your kids will start from scratch. Then where are we going as a country? Because if we want to be prosperous as a country, how we prosper as individuals within the country matters. And that's where wealth creation and wealth preservation come in. A lot of the time, we are interested in our short-term needs. Say, ye being bibi, and I bet bibi na ebi ayato eduane rent ninke kaho yen drink kwe. Wealth creation requires that we think very far. That means that no matter how much you earn, sikia bia wo benya no seed bi wo mu a say wo de to ho for tomorrow. So what you say? Mami, you say an example in the Bible, Joseph. So 7 years of plenty, no. Ya make her try say, onfa bibin to ho because ochine bi beba, you won't have the money you used to have. Retirement beba, ebi a wunye sika na, inti fa bibi to ho na ochine bi etumi aboa. It's the same principle that we advise you to have today. Every money you earn, you may think it's small, but it is not small. You see, when it comes to money, there's no amount of money. Like I say, me 10,000 ubenya sa 10,000 ensuundi. That's how it is. It's important that you put a part of it away. Saram has spoken about how we can multiply that money. Very important. We can make money in different ways. The one that you yourself, you work hard and you go and make. And then the one that the money will work for you. We need to make sure that we are deploying all those opportunities because that is how we grow wealth. But it does not end there. And that is where protection comes in. She's speaking about insurance. Very important. A lot of the time, we don't want to insure because we think that the benefit is not now. It's not about you. You are insuring so that generations after you will benefit. That is why outside Ghana, sometimes somebody will die and their children will become rich just because of insurance. So apart from investments, insurance is also very important. But it also does not end there. Sometimes we do all these things for our children. Parents are taking their children to good schools, saving for them, but we do not teach the children how to manage money. So you do all this and then you are no more, and that house that you struggle to build, they sell it and blow their money. Then that is not generational wealth. So you are looking at passing on your assets onto one generation, and they also passing it on, adding on to it, and also passing it on to the next generation. And that's also when estate planning comes in. In Ghana, we are afraid that when you write a will, as soon as you cross the road, a car will hit you and you die, which is not the reality. And we do know that in our society, if you don't write a will, why you do so hard? But just mana say omu benefited from niawa embanasa because one share with I hope I've said it well. One share with so having a will is very important. Okay, make our way misikawe enko. And you can even have a trust. A trust even helps, especially if you wanted to move past generations. So if you are me wadan we me rente. I want the rent to pay for grandchildren's school fees. What throw bibia lawyer bibia inti niebesi say wunni ho, but every child that will come after you, no, sa dino will be able to at least pay for school fees inti trust wo bloodline no so obia ko school, and you made preparation for that before you left. So when we are talking about generational wealth, we are talking about putting in place the structures so that even when you are not there, your family will continue to excel. That's what we are talking about.
Okay. Essentially, there's documents we as I said we try just unye japadia ubetumi atry how a person beboa we busuanfo a omo ho say ni omo beba we echi to benefit from that. So Vera, now I'm going to go to you, right? We have done the basic introduction of the fundamentals of investing, which means first you want to make the money, you want to control it, you also want to make sure that you are intentional and multiply it. We have also talked with Pepe about how you can keep, protect yourself. Vera Ejuma in addition to being head of the department, or advising Crawford, say wunye sikana, dear strategy, and a wube uswa, udibeye sanyoma and Crawford Kenya. So Vera, can you please share some thoughts, the path to wealth creation and the resources that people can tap into for that?
All right, so I'll try and see if I can mix the tree and the. I'm a Jamestown girl, so maybe the guy will come in. Yes, I was born and bred in Jamestown, so that's the guy I speak. Okay, but this is how I want to put it. Like she said, when you make the money, you need to save some. And like she rightly said, 50% can go to your needs, a 30% to your wants, and then a 20% to the investment for the future. When I'm handling financial literacy, I like to call it, I use a model. Usually it's done with investment appraisal, but it also applies to life. I like to call it MUSCAL. MU, which means must have. The S is a should have. And then you could have and would like to have. That's for the W. So MU, so capital M, small u, capital S, capital C-O, and then a capital W. Now, why do I say this? When money comes, like she rightly says, you need to tell the money where it goes, or it will tell you where to go, and you will soon wonder where it went. That one is a standard principle. And then, what is good for me at this point in my life may be a very disastrous plan for you, so you don't copy. So one of the first pathways to wealth creation is to take a situational analysis of who you are and where you are at any point in time. That will determine what goes where and how it should be handled. So coming back to the MUSCAL first and foremost, food, shelter, clothing, they are necessities. However, even within the category of food, shelter, clothing, there are still the must-haves, the should-haves, the could-haves, and would like to have. Let me explain something. Depending on your level of affordability, a breakfast could be some, Horlicks with, Spanish omelette and some baked, some bacon on the side with some whatnot. It will cost 300 Ghana cedis. That person can afford it. It has all the essential ingredients of a balanced diet. Between you and me from Jamestown, it is your cocoa with nkatier and some bread on the side. You finished. For the guy who can afford it, so in your case, a must-have is a balanced diet. So his food is a must-have. But the essential in there is a balanced diet. So you look at what you can afford and you begin to budget accordingly. You don't just spend because somebody is spending. The same principle, therefore, would go to housing. You need a place to sleep. Let some people do their rental at East Legon Hills, Trasaco and Co. Please, if your own is Tebulemi in the corner or Kasua somewhere, Kasaso or what, half plot, money price, no? A bit of $100,000. Half plot, too. Now, full need the over $250,000. Meanwhile, time now more ton. Until I started to say castle, I wouldn't say maybe who sick and doors. But when I open 15,000, 20,000, no, I should share Sibia, a hoon named Tokwebebre. And no, I won't tell us on your baby, sir, over duty now. The Usika. And so I decided to say in the next few years, I will the officer will sit down. Will first go and submit to me to assassin. Assassin maybe 15,000. Now, because I went to me, I started documenting, and I will spend the fund. Actually, will say, oh, Busumi Biano, yeah, mammy 10,000. And I made 10,000 in you. It means that a being my own to me find yes to soon find Kotosa assassin. So, what it means is that you now get back to the drawing table, having done that assessment. And if you want to look at yourself like a business, what it means is say, we are a loss making entity. Mumu why and will invest in a loss making entity. Let me ask. Business adebia maboka. What do you see abeshim? So once who coffee fa who say we a business and take stock, sika hin eba meho. And I car hin na mebo on a monthly basis. We na balance ni a negative, we are loss making. It means you are not attractive in temperature. You take a second look. In some cases, we check here. You've done everything possible to manage your expenses, but still enkoyi. What it tells you, therefore, is that you need to start looking for other streams of income. Ebua uni medianinia. Se semre emana aba bebre aye busy. Tisa no pay meteha obitiha. Na uni medianinia fina no ako maybe serum and now we peppy. Oh, I cook and so I can prepare your meals for you the way you want it done. She will pay you for the hours you save because may say because of what I do. No, we have a friend and say, oh Vera, the person by training ma main crop on financial planning and retirement. Now the hours now come in the kitchen. May they prepare materials for training. Me kwa eba me miska kakra. Me sha sika na me menya no, ba me nyamre nye aduane nti obi ba na obenu aduane ma me no nua ne yi an ma eden. Na me nso me yibi ama no. So in some cases, no, you still keep your full-time job, but you have weekend gigs, side hustles, etc. But once the money comes, please tell the money where to go. Now, beyond that, what to me who say we are loss making or profit making quote or surplus earning, and on that chain, you now say hey, what to make sure I want to say we are business because that's what the building blocks. You look at yourself as a business and you ask yourself, are you solvent? And what's your net worth? Yemubi, when you take what we own, say, oh, I have a house, or I have a car, or I have bank accounts. When you put all of that together, and then they take cognizance or we take stock of the amount of money we owe people, honestly, it's not looking good. Because you may have a car, when we value it is, let's say, 55,000. You don't have a house yet, and maybe your bank account is maybe maximum 5,000. So after everything, you are 60,000. Yet you owe Ama Mensua 15,000. You owe Akosia Mansa 10,000. You owe Ajwa Techua 3,000. By the time they put it together, you owe different people 70,000. Now, when we take 60,000 minus 70,000. Do you have surplus or you owe? You owe. So it means that you as a person, your net worth is negative. That's the dangerous aspect. It means you won't be creating any kind of wealth. So these are parameters you need to know. Once you put those ones in perspective, that begins to show avenues where you need to fix. So especially to be able to make some surplus. And then those surpluses should go into the goals you have. So like I said, if it's an emergency fund, which is my first goal, I need 30,000. How do I start saving or managing my costs such that I will be able to save 30,000 and put it, let's say, in T-bills in readiness for emergency? Once I am done with that, My next one is I want to buy a plot of land. I say plot of land will be like another 25,000. Oh, okay. Then I start saving. And every time I'm either increasing my income flow or trying to manage my cost. And then by the time the next moment, I have bought a plot of land. And then if I decide that for me, I can't build, but I'll only invest in land, maybe by the time you are turning 60, it could still be your retirement planning package. By the time you are turning 60, you have like 50 different plots of land, which have increased in value from the 15,000 you bought it to at least 100,000 Ghana cedi, giving a plot. Now, if you have 20 of that, and each one is 100,000 because you were careful in picking the locations, that's telling you it's at least Ukra 2 million B. So you decide that if you've been spending 10,000 every month, every year you decide that you spend what? 1 plot of land. Now if you have 20 plots of land, it means when you go on retirement, quarter until you turn 80, you have a plot of land to sell. And decide that you even leave any. But of course, like I said, you would want to leave some behind. So sometimes you balance that out. So I would end it here.
Okay, yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think so. Do you find this helpful? Is this? So essentially, what I'm getting from you is that you, with the planning, you can achieve certain things, and you have to be intentional about your money. Do you want to make? I always so I'm in finance too. Because of compliance reasons, I can't give advice here, but I can speak generally. When you have money, even if a year is 1 cedi, you have to decide whether you want to give it away or you want to keep it for yourself. I can tell you that the people who get rich, they don't give a lot of their money away. They keep the money for themselves. After that, then they give money away. And if you're doing anything, you also have to understand that you have to pay yourself, right? The way you pay yourself is the savings that you make. Because if you keep giving all of your money to other people, there'll be nothing left for you. And then you go in retirement, Ghana is age 60, right? And then suddenly he's getting ready to retire. Then that is when people start being aggressive and doing funny things, right? Unfortunately, our time is up. But our time is up because we have other things we want to make sure that we are keeping on schedule. So I'm going to let each one of you do like a 30-second close. I'm going to start from Mimi and Seram and then Pepe, and then you close us out, Vera. 30 seconds, please, each. So between the two of you, you have a whole minute. So tag team.
Okay, so I think a lot has been said. The principles have been given. So all of us should start.
And please tell us where they can find you.
Okay. Okay, so for me, I'm at the Fidelity head office right here. So if you're looking for me, 8th floor. But today I'm here to encourage all of us to plan towards our retirement. Ghana, no, you can say our children will take care of us. What you say? Me nana, me papa, like omo brothers and omo ye 17. Inti obia disika kakraba. That can happen. But sisiano, oh wahe. Women, we branch leaders, they say 2, 3 because you want to go into politics. Inti sa 2, 3 no on na wode wo whole we beto omo so say omo share na dabi. Inti pacho after 60 kono say start to say then dream home. Remember that we are doing this just not for ourselves but for our children. So we take care of ourselves, make sure we are not a burden on the next generation, and also leave them something and leave them an education. And that's where financial literacy comes in. So bibia ye kan wo han and yes unkwa na wunimu o ye no na o de like you involve them in into wo ka say wo tro no de bia mami I want this omusun tro mo de no what you are saying to ombe no they would already have that skill set. So that whatever you do, they'll also build on it.
So just to add to what Mimi said, first of all, you can find us also on social media, TikTok and Instagram, investment_friend. You'll find us there. But I want to just end by saying that we sometimes think that we need a lot of money before we can start investing. It is not true. It is not true. With as little as 10 Ghana cedis, you can actually start investing. In fact, even the mobile Momo platforms that we have, there are investment opportunities on there. So with as little as 10 Ghana cedis, we can start. If you can't save or invest 10 cedis of your 1,000 cedis, when you start earning 1 million, you will still not be able to invest because it's a character. It's a habit that you have to build from now. So with the little that you have, start investing and start thinking about your children. Have a plan. Start thinking about the next generation. Thank you.
Once you acquire all this wealth, be asset important part say ensure offer loan cry or banker. Bank no, they take insurance on the loan that they give you. So that we are and I say insurance bet you omuka. Until usu is very important say who struggles now sit down. Now if you want person uji insurance to protect the house, a jatum a dinu share. Now usika nyina wa ye no ni nyina akọ. So insurance me won say Ghanaians pay insurance. But it's very, very important. Omo plans, different plans. Ebi wo hokra obetumi for funeral. Into obi wo you don't have to struggle. So obesi nipa no. Investments now aye no obehwa ma wo. Ebi wo ha wo yare a obetumi etua wo rent, obetumi ama wo income. Into omo different types, but ye nim. Into ye make effort no to learn more about insurance because insurance we don't buy it when we need it. We buy it when we don't need it, so that when we need it, insurance no be protect you. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so as a typical educator, what I can say, they said, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. So that's one. And it says knowledge is power. And since most of us are women here, say if you educate a woman, you do what? You educate a nation. So let me come back to the issue. We all love money. You cannot take care of money when you lack the knowledge that is required about money. And then YouTube there are simple videos that gives you a good understanding of money. Because when I don't know will say, oh, investment biaba. What do you see can share 24 hours near 100 now waje pacho your friend no Ponzi scheme. Bebre eji tumu say oh munim say ya zamu ba we ne ntema na we use kan tem na we nya ma men kan kire onyame enim we ya sa sabe we ye wi fo. Let me explain why I say we ye wi when you do that. In a Ponzi scheme briefly o nipa ba akon na o se penkrofo mienu bra na mo de musika be 1,000 na mo de abeto ho na o se na mienu ne ye de aba ye se mo so mo kopa mienu mbra. Na what is mode mienu ne ba na ye yi sa mienu no musika na ye de atua o sika ne ye mfa nko bebia o because in business or in life there ye ni low na hye ne high enti ye odi sika ne ba wo so mode ye bibi na mfa so aba ho ehon mfa so ne ye de ma o enti say ye ntumi ankyira wo say we ne ye to ene ye to ni say ne ye to ni say a it means that how we can yet more twitching crofo ne de ban na ye yi san crofo no mo wa ase no esika ne ye de tua mo kasika na mfa nko bebia enti bedru baby no the more crofo no doors because I wo de 2 by we so na ye 4 will be at the 2 bar 9 crofo aye 8 will be at the 2 bar aye 16 will be at the 2 bar 32 enti it keeps on multiplying enti what you don't know is a fine maybe who can number 1 lane 1 no Inti wenya usika no. But by the time obe realize na wa wonua omo no mo ka lane 10 at that point the Ghana for na omo be join no mo asa 77 men's gold into obidi ni dia 100,000 share mu buma ade chin no boom na ahye na wona wonya usika na wo koye no utumi da ma wo da yie dia na wo say ye bom pae ma wo because wo boaye say one shia ho nniema nti wo boa ye na ye wia wa wonua nti wonua na wanya BP na otefe wanya stroke no wo pene so say wo kwaji sika wonte sena sika no be fear ebeda na profit ma wo no Now na wabua nti pa cho usua de sa do bi ba no see 6% per month. It means say 72% per year because 6 times 12. Business bank just a cocaine in a ho niema. And now bet me 72% in a year profit. Inti so about 72% and that business ankasa enya he because nipa no oye na was no so nye bi. Inti me pa mo cho monsua de na adesua no aboa yen say wo nya sika no na ni say ese obi de medase.
Amen, 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 amen. I know some more questions, baby, but there were a lot of paper chomo bewa around until you, but take more information because it's very good advice. Why? So thank you all, Vera. Thank you, Pepe. Thank you, Sairam, and thank you, Mimi. Let's get our picture, and then we're going to move into the next panel. We yeria no na ya lunch. Why? Me pamocho as I say ye bibia. Why? And you know, let's do that. Your next panel, no, they will teach you about how to sustain a business, create, and how we bring more business through the doors. Why? Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to invite Angel Livers to come and help us. But while she's coming, I think I see Ellen. Ellen, can you come up and say a few words? So Ellen is the aide to Dr. Baumia. She was supposed to be on the politics panel, but she got stuck in a little bit of traffic. So I just wanted her to give her the opportunity to say a few words. But Angel, if you can come up and start the...
Good morning. I want to apologize for being late. I had to be on TV before I came. And then I also met a bit of traffic. Timo fine chemi. But I'll make it very quick and then I'll leave it for Angel to continue. The topic was about women in politics. I'm going to just talk about 5 minutes about my little experience in politics and how and share that easy, sir. But Mestre say we need you one. Brabe Kayan. A man no ye na ye doors no Ghana how. Someone is there. Young population ye 50% plus extra. Ti ye doors to change me man. And so na major politics ya ma me man. And na ma kakra na ye woman no major aboye nso. Na ye team na ye sisi yen na ye piapia yen e ba se minian man DC for ba pa we ye che positions no se ma hu ma ne ko ekon ye still e me ma ni fagyaw me nso ma ban wo ho e ma ne ye kon ye still e me ma ni fagyay even in opposition mo hwe Dr. Baumia me boss e ma he ne ye twa ne ho ahia metimi abom yensa me akosua manu ye na ye kasa ye na ye communicators timu hu ye e ma ba miensa bi wa akiri ho e na mema na ye den o mo atwa ne ho ahia obusa ne aka cha ose na ma no mo wo he no krani ye awrade ani me ma no ye wo he we are not there processor ye famu ma ye di bedu sa level no enye easy munhwe ye ramahama ema ahi na atwa ne ho ahia ene ye ramahama ekọ baabia na opia ema ahi behu baako mienu miensa se ye pese Ghana koso a ema ne ye ka ho bi politics na kire baabia ya brabo na ebekọ wuti hey wo yare na akọ hospital a Say ubenya insurance, say winya insurance. Munim say politicians, ye decide. Ye ne kire. Say insurance be ye adwuma, say nya adwuma. Ye ne kire wo ba school, ye ne kire. Aduane a wo bedi ne bo, politicians ne kire. Atari a wo be hye, tax a wo betua, politicians ne kire. Ye ma yi nsusu na ne ma bebre ha yen. Aduane nya ye ne adwuna no, ye ne ye. Wo ba yare a wo na akọ hospital. Intermediate, mesre, minianum, especially ye wo school, ye pejano, corner cover political party, especially when need you one, and you by force. When need you one. Per party, na joining. Media me MPP need make us a Brian MPP. When you MPP one, NDC will hold to me call, CPP will hold to me call. Whatever be the case, joining in. Na ye intimi mwa, na niema e haye no. Yenye hudwuma ye nuanu mema na menka so omunye o omu beye ba ma ni ye wo mu a ye piapia omu ma omu ye no mu ye ni yie me de masem besi ha next time mo ba me ba ntem na ye won komo bebre wo pese o join the MPP amete ha bra Angel Pacho Mary.
Good morning, ladies. Are y'all enjoying the day? That does not sound like y'all are enjoying the day. Okay, wait. Akwaba. I shocked you. Full of surprises. So I'm super excited to moderate this panel or this conversation with Dr. Nota, who's going to be talking to us about business sustainability. So Dr. Nota, can you join me on stage? And also, we have moved the exhibitors indoors, but during the transition, there was a cell phone that was lost. So if you have lost your cell phone and realize it, please see me, okay? Hey, Dr. Nota. All right, so you gonna talk in tree or what we doing? You gonna translate what I say? Okay, Mercy. See, that's why you shouldn't have told me your name. Mercy, can you translate some of what our discussion is? Because I want to make sure that everybody's enjoying the fullness of what we're talking about. Will that be helpful? Y'all want Mercy to speak in tree? Come on. Come to the mic. Right there. Dankeschön. Thank you. Okay, so can you tell them that this conversation is going to be around business development and sustainability? Don't be saying you've been voluntold to get up here and say this.
Now, ready? When you are some more candidates, and one say, as some I ever become about ye Juma D. Aha, a Juma Yababidi, and Nona, and I say Juma ye, and no one sem and a become. Aha, so you can go on.
Okay, awesome. All right, so Dr. Nota, tell us a little bit about who you are and why you specifically chose this conversation to share with a room full of prominent, dominant, beautiful, bold women. Wait, translate what I just said.
Come again.
Dr. Nota, let us know why you decided to have this conversation around business development with a room full of beautiful, bold, brilliant, dominant women.
Oh, okay. You also doctor say, Owaha, say Obabe Church, mo, a choir, your first one, ye business. And a Juma. Aha, a Juma.
Did you say the beautiful, bold?
I did good tea or what? Patrol be met take over, Mamma. I can say, when you want to say, by you, body.
Okay.
May I lawyer, Pacho?
Okay, Dr. Nota. We're going to let Dr. Nota
No,
respond.
you know something, my friend. I want somebody to take over. What? I want a lawyer. I want to take a lawyer.
You want to see
Yeah,
the lawyer?
I want to take a lawyer.
Okay.
For myself.
Okay.
You get it, right? Okay.
Okay. All right. Dr. Nota, share with us what we need to know around business sustainability. Hey. Okay, but hold on. I know, but I need to let him say something. He's the one on the stage. All right. So, Dr. Nota, go ahead.
So thank you, everybody. And it's great to be back here in Ghana. So we're going to be talking about how do you sustain a business. I think for the most part, everybody talks about how do you start a business, how do you grow your business. But the real issue is if we are going to make our business be part of our legacy, which is what the last panel was talking about, something that we pass on to the next generation, we have to really think, once I started, how do I sustain it? It's easy to start. They always say the starting line is crowded, but the finish line is very lonely, right? So when I talk about how do you continue to do that, and I'll probably do that using my own example of the companies that I have started, the struggles that I have faced in terms of sustaining those businesses. So I don't know if I have some slides that we can sort of walk through.
Are the slides ready, gentlemen?
All right, so I want to talk about business sustainability in a different way. I want to use the anchor words of truth, curiosity, and beauty. And in this sense, I don't mean beauty in terms of what Angel was talking about, beauty for women, beauty for aesthetics. I talk about beauty in terms of integrity of the business, beauty in terms of the alignment of your mission and the impact that you want to make, and how that can translate into your business sustainability. Okay, go to the next one. Really, for me, the starting point, Angel, is the truth about your business. If you ask me, how do I feel about my business? If you ask me, how do I feel about my business? Actually, the word that comes through is scared. I'm actually scared about my own business. And I'll give you a context. I grew up in a small village in Zimbabwe. I was orphaned at about age 11, managed to go to the United States, built a couple companies. I think now we do probably between $90 and $100 million a year in revenue, but I'm scared to death. Why am I scared? Because once you build something, how do you keep it? That's the biggest issue. And I'm mostly scared because, go to the next slide, because the environment is always changing. So I'll tell you about 10, 11 years ago, I started my first company. Really, I identified that within non-profit organizations, there was need to provide services that allow them to be sustainable. During that time, there were not many people that were doing that. It was easier. Now, there's tons of people that are in the same industry. AI has so much information that most of the stuff that I used to provide as proprietary information is now widely available through AI. There's now new, smarter, younger people than me that can do this even better. So the question is, how do I sustain that business? Right? So this constant change that even if you identify a need now, that need is not going to be the same 5 years from now, 3 years from now. So there is that constant challenge that comes through. So here are some of the issues that I really battle with. And I invite you to sort of think through your own business and your own career. The first question really is, what problem are you actually solving? The problem that I was solving 10 years ago is no longer the same problem. So am I still in business? What business am I in now? Right? The assumptions that I made about the business when I started it are no longer apply. They no longer apply. So how do I navigate in an environment where what I believed, what I put my faith in when I started, has now shifted.
So can we pause? We have someone who would like to translate what you're saying in Tree. Go ahead.
Just so that we don't lose what he's saying. Okay, so my option is say, wo ye juma. First section ne ka what ye sikasam sani ebetumi aboaboa ye ho ma ye sikasam nye basa insurance wo mu then afi why ye business no e den na obetumi aye ma business na atompon se de bia ebe wo ho se de bia wo sori a wo nim se juma ni wo ho ma wo niama o wo se oye na ye mpapa yi oye obi a wa ye onankasa juma baby o free o hwe nachi na baby a wa bedri o hu se niama bebre wo ho ya ye di hran ha ye hu emma ye juma ni ntumpon ba na de wo hwe ye no o ka bibi to say trust say gidie be wo mu na o hwe say gidie wo de mi ye ni mu a ya na osoro kakra ejidie na ase no osoro kakra wo ho se me gide se medwuma ne betumpo no anya bia niama bi wo ho a ebe ma me asoro ma edwuma no entumpo ana na oka se senia niama si ko ye ntemo ana senia yuasi die ko no niama bebre aba na se niama na aba no emu bi na betumi aboaye a ye edwuma ne betumpom ana se entumpom na die nso na ewo ho a ebetumi ama ye dwuma na abrase na o se we nyina no the next thing I mean so be can no your curiosity na eno so kire se o se wo ye bibi o se wo bisa wo ho se die na metumi ayafa de akyekyere me ho ma adwuma yi ebe koso wawa na abribia no adwuma ne wo ho ma me ni masefo nyina eno em say baby a wa bedru ni.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I wish I speak to you right now, right?
Sounded so good.
Yeah. So I guess the basis is if you have a business, you have to constantly reflect on the real truth about what faces your business. Because if you don't, you might end up supplying a product that people don't need.
Say that.
Yeah. Okay. Into my option say, baby, ayedri or say, wo ye juma. Edie na wo ya abribia no edwuma no betumi ada ho a ebekọ enim na che se de wo ton ana edwuma na wo de wo ho ahye mo no eyade a edi solution ana ebua nipa se de wo ye no embua nipa na ene wo nkọ babia ebedru babia na obi akra nhia nti obi ahia na che se edwuma no so ebeba fom na fe asekura.
Awesome. Go ahead.
All right. So I want to share with you at least the way that I approach business sustainability. I start on it from, I set a personal mission statement and a personal a vision statement. And if you can go to those two, please.
Just keep talking.
Okay. So one, at least that's what anchors me in terms of setting a sustainable business model. Okay. So number one, my personal vision statement.
There you go.
My personal, you can keep going. My personal vision statement actually mirrors what the last ones we're talking about. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
You keep talking.
Okay. So it mirrors what other people were talking about in terms of what is your vision. It goes back to wealth creation. Coming from where I come from, my goal in life is how do I create a legacy that could be passed on to my child and my child's child. So that's the base anchor. Then in addition to that, then I have to have a mission statement. How do I actually do that? And that's the next slide. For me,
okay, so it's the old kind of say, Ejuma bia shase no, or say bibi da wenim, eden eda wenim. Sa de na eda wenim no se wo tro to de to ho e na efe ne mission statement no nti me botai ne se me ye adwuma yi se ne be ya me ba me chi ba anase me ma no so betumi asomo no mo somo eden na oye wo de epunto beba ama amanfo anase de me ye no e de nhira be ma amanfo okote scripture bi eno wo ho say nipa wo nyansa no ana nipa ye nipa papa no oye bibia ohwe na echi se meja bibia ma me nanamo anase obi a odi made anase obi a mehwe no sa scripture na wa quote no ena osanso ka say se sade a ene de meboaboa no se meyo no eno so mentro nto ho se enye se me pese me ton jene but jene ni mu no me yese me de metina jom ha say me kodomi akoton wo ho anase me from domi no me penipa omo be me adwuma na tumpo e wo miamia bebre sana opese oka.
Right? So for me, then the way I want to achieve that Proverbs 13 verse 22 is specifically identifying
Wait,
value.
what is Proverbs 13:22?
Right there.
Read it.
Right? So again, how do you live? Read it. Read it as it is. Okay. No, this is now my mission statement. So if you go back one slide. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. For me, that's my whole goal, right? And I chose to do that through my mission, which is identifying value that sits at the intersection of poverty and all the different ills within our society, particularly in the healthcare sector. So that's what I do. So, keep going. Okay. So for me, whenever the landscape has changed, I have to come back to that mission and go to the next slide. So I want you guys to sort of look at this is how I think about my business and business development. Okay? So I'm going to stand up.
One moment. Go ahead, sorry.
Okay, I think I went ahead. Ne mission now the buy no okoti another scripture em say me ko enim kakraja no na ne botani pa say obehwe ewo na wonni bi e na won so yare ha wom ne botani oh e no fa wo trokonkrom ka say se bibia wo ye bia no wo wadwempa na wo de ya hwe se die poten na wo ye eno na ye pese ye di CP se enye se mi ton jene o enye se mi pamadi o basade na me pam na jene na me ye edie ne betumi aye aboa obi nso bacho matiase good inti mon hwe board no so ba na ye kasa na or the numbers be to ye beka ho asem.
All right? So at least for me, I think in terms of understanding my business and how to sustain it, I think of it in this framework. So on one side, I'm very clear about what services do I provide now and what future services I could provide. On the bottom axis, I have the clients that I'm serving, whether it's the people or the businesses, the ones that I'm serving now and the ones that I can serve into the future. Okay? So to begin with, whatever you start a business, you are in one. There's some service you provide now to clients or customers that you provide now. That's the basis. So usually we think of sustaining our business as moving from 1 to 2. I have a business. I want to get more clients. I want to sell more of what I already have to more people. I want to enter new markets with whatever service I have. That's 1 to 2. That's how we traditionally build. Now, with all these changes coming in, you might have to think, if I have clients already, what else do they need that I can sell to them? So now we are going from 1 to 3, right? You are based on, I already have these customers. Maybe they buy X, but when they buy X, they also go elsewhere and look for bread. So how do I sell something else that my existing customers already have? Right?
Okay. Enti the oche say, one box na si ye nim no. Asha se no me fanye wachi. Okay. Me pese me ton wachi. Asha se no me ton wachi wo ha se. Ebia nima ho baby. Me wo clients, me wo wona wo beto wachi ne mami. By son say me person watch it on no etumponinti. Me ko hu obi wo to do. No so person oh yeah, that's the new market you get. Wo nyama wo hu. Now wona wo ton watch na that time no Natalie ambaye. Inti ye kwotro a na chese me di bi fifoforo ka hu ma watch na me ton no. Sesia salad ni de keka ho ne niama. Anase sobolo bi na wo de aka ho. Eno na shoot wo kotri no. Oh, inti ekose a wo ye wo free nima wakodu tudu. Ba ekosru asa nima na wo de sobolo ni bibia foforo ka ho. Ma obi pa na nsuo. Inti obi to wachi a bag na wo de mane no nsuo wo mo sobolo wo mo bibia efa wachi nso no e na wa petu pe kakra nso ka ho. Inti 3 no na chese utumpo. Ni fruit kakra nso. So we go on the 4th.
Is this good? Are y'all enjoying this? Okay.
All right. So now the question now is number 4, where you are creating something new for new customers, right? So that's where that change really comes through. Go to the next slide, please.
Slides.
Right? So for me, when I started my business, and I'm going to walk this through quickly, I started that consulting business. And the original goal was get more customers, get more customers. But as I said, as new customers come in, that market got crowded and crowded. I could not easily get more clients. So what did I do? I figured the clients I served needed something else. Go to the next slide. The clients I served needed pharmacies. So I started opening pharmacies, serving the same clients and looking for new business. Go to the next slide. I figured out the same clients needed some banking system, short-term financing. So I created a capital market, small capital market to serve them, right? Again, the market keep getting squeezed, so I have to keep thinking, what else should I provide? Go to the next. I figured out they also have other things that I need that I do through PSS. But my problem, the reason I told you I'm scared, is I'm serving the same group of clients. If something happens to that group of clients, what happens to me? I'm gone, right? So you might look from outside and say, he's running a $100 million business. That's great. But I'm sitting here scared because I'm realizing my base of clients are the same. If Uncle Trump changes the rules or the regulations, I'm in trouble.
Not Uncle Trump. Go ahead.
Okay, so Mauche ne se mi kwenim kakra toothpick ni fruit na me de kan ho no eno na wadru no. Now the bibi so aka ho. O say wache na woto no obi beba onkra sika say. Inti ukwenim no na bank bi won chen ti se bank fo ni omo ne ye beka say no se mumfa machine bi mbre me say metumi ayi sika ne wo momo so na won ja ne wo ho sika no eba wo phone so a one sign the bank phone no aye hihye say me sika no me ne nyina beda mo ho wo bank ma obi am be wia me phone no afen so na wa pede wo di bata ho say okay na ebedru mre bi no mempe obi a oye mobile money nankasa obegina me nchen ono nso mbra me nchen se ne ebe ya ebebua ebi obi pese oyi sika oyi a odi ato bibi foforo but won't me man is scanning man no inte no wo di niama bata de wo ye ne ho se ne ebe ya ebe attract nkrofo aba wo ho wonhwe ya kra na wape obi abepe drinking sport bi abeka wo nchen ho na afei wo multiply it's the same people a woni wo mo wo betumi di niama bebre aka ho mane ayeye but o ka bibi so se eko ni nyina no esuro bi woni mo eya ye business a eya na esuro bi wo mo edie na etumi abeye esuro wonim se ye be start tax be ka say me a me to wa che kra ye bebo me ko edu say metu ya tax eno so niama ewo government ni aban hihye ne mo no eno nti wo ye dwuma bia na wetie mu nsem wa pa obi obetumi aboa wo ma de bia no bibi sakra bi ba pe wo beti na wo so wo de abo ebra wo ye.
Thank you. And this is one of the last points, and then we're going to open it up for questions. So if you have questions, please come over to the mic so we can run right into that. Go ahead, Noba.
So then so again, I have built a business that looks like it's doing good, but I'm scared because it's sitting under the same base. So now I have to be curious about what else could I provide, how well could I provide it, and go to the next slide. I have to be very honest about my own business, and my own truth about understanding my business becomes my strategy. Go to the next one. So this is what I have to do. Go back. This is what I have to do. I have to go from what I'm used to into something else completely different, right?
And
I have
bigger.
to jump out of that frame in order for me to be sustainable. And for now, what am I doing? Go to the next slide. So we have started a company called Navala Travel, right? Technically, it doesn't serve the same clients we do, right? It's not the old service. It serves completely new people. And this is our way of saying, okay, based on what we know, based on what we understand the landscape is changing, how do we reinvent ourselves in order to remain relevant and sustainable? So I'll stop there.
Thank you, Dr.
It's the
Nelson.
same watch as my can say. Says ya wakodum ko be a friend no caterers association. Send ye be ya in cheche na omuma wo ho no ebi beka wo na wo de aka wadwuma wo ho ana wo beti say obi peso onua adua yem nua aduane ma no. Inti wabomodi akoye card bia wo number wo so na wache no wa design ni wache fine na wo de more bi omoba ho na wo de ama wo saa ko ni mu a wo te se obi ye party na ya frɛ wo esan se wo de wako join ko anase wo ye niama ebeboa wache ni ton na wo feel say ebi ni wo ho mo di binsa wo ye mo omo ya it na wa pe jollof bi nso na wo ye jollof bi nso on the side na bibia ye kama se jollof nso de na plantain kakra ka ho na wo ye wo be hwa na wo kwa esua na woko.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dr. Nota, thank you for sharing your wisdom, your guidance, and all of the things that you have done to create not only a sustainable business, but a legacy for your family. Do we have any questions? Can you ask them if they have any questions? Or
more questions. And, you have a question? Okay. Sit down. I'll bring you the mic.
Obviously, you said that you have times in which you're fearful about your organization and growing it. But I think another piece that we need to keep in mind is that we have to be prepared for legacy change. So what do you recommend for succession planning? I think most people are scared to do that because it means that you're vulnerable. So how do we address that?
can you translate that real quick?
Yeah, mommy ni bisana say, yeah, ye pese ye jaye chi ye. And so we show woman ni mwa wachi I would ton ye be any more or peso beton wachi. Hairdresser wo ye, e be any more peso ye or ye hairdressing. Into dear na wo be ye. Minyanka me can be but nyemi na ye bisa ma asem nti yem fama wom no omunkan. If you are meant to be the BBS or so.
Yeah, so I think you're right. The issue of legacy always dawns on me. And it's probably one, it keeps me vulnerable, which I like because then for me, vulnerability is the birthplace of creativity, innovation, and change. That keeps me there. But what do I do personally for that? One, I try to look for people that are much, much smarter than me to work with me. So that's one. So I always have people besides me that know what we are doing and probably do it better than me and convince them to work with me for that sustainability. That's number one. Then number two, I separate business ownership from personal, from being self-employed. Most businesses, when they start a business, they work there every day. If they are not there, the business is not there. So my goal in every business is to make myself redundant, such that I set up a business and you don't need me. You notice one of the things I have, the business I have pharmacists, but I'm not a pharmacist, right? So for me, that gives that legacy, longevity piece where I create a business that does not depend on me, but I can set up the systems, set up the structures.
Pay yourself, get people who understand the vision and where you're going and let them be part of you. The year can say, yes, watching no one would buy say woton. Woshena womano ebi eni ho pe wache so beto no pe obi na so ni samo na tete no na onti de wo ye na ase ne baabi a wo pese wo kɔ nti na ya wo ka na wo tro bibi kakra pa obi a oti brofo betumi atro kan na ka che no baabi a wo pese wo de wa ache yi bɛkɔ minimo bi a oje ejuma wo Barclays na oye kelewili oba wo patamo no nim se obi wo ho obepɛ kelewili aton no na wa hye na wodi ama wo nti adwuma ne ko ni nim saa nti pa obi a wo feel se wo betumi atreni no wo be ma ne ntete na wa kyerɛ ne niama anim se ne be ya wo ne ho a wo tua wo hu so a eto de bia ye adwuma no ye ntua ye ho batua wo hu na fa sika ni bi tu ho se ne be ya eba se wo ne ho kra nipa na o hwe wachi ana nipa na obefa echi no obenya bibi agina so na ono so de adwuma no akɔ enima ma wo.
Thank you. So, Dr. Nota, this will be our last question, but I can't help but ask, like, you have created the legacy, you've been doing this, so you have the longevity. But what would you implore on a lot of the women who may be starting out and looking for the guidance or that little extra dose of motivation or reminder that they can do it? Because maybe they're stuck right now and they haven't quite figured out, how do I position myself in my marketplace? Do you want to?
Mo bisa ne se onu waye yi ama no but e bia ye no bi afi na ye be hyase ana se ye wo mu dada but ya ka ba bia ye wo no o bisa ne se edie mua no betumi de ama ya na se de no betumi aka ama ya hye ye nkran se de ye betumi atumpo wo mu nti eno na o bisa no obeyi ano na me so me de bia ka ho. You want to say something? You want to ask a question?
Well, go ahead answer, Dr. Nota.
Yeah. So, number one, sorry, excuse me. Number one is, for me at least, what got me into business. Coming from where I was coming from in the village, we always doubt ourselves. So I had the benefit of working for one of the most brilliant guys that I ever met. But working with him, I realized, actually, what he's doing, I can probably do, right? So identify somebody that's doing what you want to do, right? And once you are close to that person, you realize how easier it is for you to actually try. That's number one. Number two, when I talk here, I'm mentioning companies that I started that have succeeded. But I have a whole book of companies I started that failed, right? So you fail your way to success. So people don't talk. So when I talk like this, people think, Florence like to say, oh, everything Nota touches turns to gold. No, there's some core in there, right? So not everything. So sometimes you just have to try. If it doesn't work, you recalibrate. You go back to your mission. Okay, if that doesn't work, what else can am I going into 2? Am I going into 3? Am I going into 4? You keep going back and recalibrating. So find somebody that's doing what you want to do and be close enough, and you realize that it's not as scary. And number 2, even if you fail, I told you I've started maybe 5 companies that have failed, right? But I failed my way to success. So you fall forward. Every time you fall forward.
But the mission and vision doesn't change.
The mission and vision doesn't change. I still need to create a legacy. I still need to provide impact in the subset for people that meet in my mission.
Menstro se bibi beko wrong and bibi beto chima. Business dear we are a bibi beko say nya aremu se dear we ye bi an ebetumpo. Na sanye ye kra ebia wache na ye ton wo shito no edru baby a shito na nko ye pe obi a onim shito ye pa brodo na wo to no edru eto baby a brodo no wo to na ye flat kakra pe obi a onim ye na kosua enja hu se mimi ni wache ton free mi mofra bremu nti say bo ho modern se wo be po obi a onim na fenso nipa ne ba ebia partnership anti beye wache no de aba mi na meye shito no na ye nyina ye de abom enso se woni obi bebom aye ejuma eto de bia Ghana na South Africa se sana ye mi nko ama ejuma but obi nim wache shito ye obi nim wache floor ye chain wo won nyina mombomo se ne beye ejuma ni betumpo me enso nso se ejuma beko form na wonim partner wonim obi a wobeboa no wo friend no mon bro ye nyina 55 cedi wo de ye hito meye jollof meye say na wo de aba na ye nyina ya bomo etumpo a obi betumi akoni separate sanse mo nyina mo sua bomu na ejuma no etumpo.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Nota, for sharing your wisdom, your guidance, all of the wonderful things. And we are going to move forward with the programming. Miss Florence, where are we headed?
Yeah, please give them a round of applause. I know we are supposed to have lunch now, but the lunch is delayed. So we are going to go into our next thing, but I can assure you it's on its way. So please don't be patient with us. I think maybe it's the rain. So thank you, Doctor. Yeah, everything he touches turns to gold. I said it. Good afternoon. Oh, you've been very patient. Oh, no coffee. Yeah, coffee is outside, but we want to get this over and done with. Then we'll have the coffee with the lunch. So please bear with me for 1 second. And if we can get those sitting outside to also come in, I think that this conversation that we are getting ready to have for me is like one of the big highlights of what we're trying to do here. So we are going to have a conversation about how to take your business global. And you see, those who are selling out there, everybody is looking to go global, right? I've gone out there and told them that they should come up and listen. I'm not going to do it again, because when they get the money, I wish everybody is successful, but you have to want that information for yourself too. Wouldn't you agree? Anyway, so it is my pleasure to invite Miss Samo Konko of UBI Energy to come up and talk. Please give her a big round of applause. She flew in all the way from Nigeria for you. Meanwhile, to say,
Nyamia drum, yepa. Just a mania, me buy and mania just say, me huminia no more, Hanomaya Fifuono. In Akuche. Me huminia nompa, say, men comono, menini din como kakra, na me sin common ye a dear some near Becca, and all kind. Nan some more catcher me say, as see a discuss near Kahwasem. Me share more ha, minim pademupa, and in some more kind of mecano. Yeah, no crown, I'm in Becca.
You mean to make questions,
oh, questions and you're talking cry.
Hey, okay, you're bedding como.
You're bedding como pa.
Deep.
Mem pese onupo baby samas. Me pese mo and a mock name casa. Na yenka seni ebe ya. Yen so if you say my yen ye shefi. And I'm a boy. Me papa num baba mu. Me papa num. Me nananum. Omufi kasina and omoba Ghana. No mo ye malam fuo ebi mo ton ade se munim house for papa
and see the first let me go back to Chi. So now as a person mo be fan no be, but me here na me catch and say so we be to me demonstrate. If you can demonstrate, say you can do the job. The way you do that, so we be to me akaso ebi a minimum crofo more higher me to me dear more aba ejume no. Enti yeah na girl no say, oh me auntie Salma, my main friend. No. Enti me yeah me say who you sure? Or say yeah. And so when she called you, I was listening on the call. She said, Auntie, I'm trying to do this, and I need you to do this for me. And your question was, how can I help? And because of that, we were able to employ her. The girl has gone on and is doing a lot of great things.
She's doing amazing.
Amazing.
Thank
So
you. She's
wanted to
doing
just let
amazing.
you know the kind of person Salma is. She has a very good heart.
Yes, at the end, mommy, a businesswoman. Near mommy, be a businesswoman, ne. Adia mi huye, na, there was a need. Most of I'm a serial entrepreneur. Most of the stuff I have done have been because I have found there is a gap, there is a need. I've done so much, but I'll do the most recent, which is in the energy space. I worked for a multinational for years, and in the process, I recognized that there were a lot of my aunties, uncles, cousins who are still going through the difficult process of generating power or energy, be it cooking, be it electricity for home.
Such simple ideas.
It wasn't some wild, brilliant vision. It wasn't. It was just filling a need.
So you established the energy company, and then at what point did you realize that your business could go global?
We went through quite a few stages. The gentleman who spoke before me talked about integration and finding one spot after the other. Because we are a developing nation, there are so many opportunities and so many requirements. There are so many gaps and needs. So it wasn't so much a brilliant idea. It was more of what was needed at the time. So from one stage to the other, we kept integrating. So we started with, and I failed plenty times, okay? There were plenty fails, but it was knowing what was needed, trying to resolve that, and then another one comes up, well, this is also needed. This is also needed. So we started with distributing LPG, and it was really difficult because in Ghana, there was at the time minimal storage for LPG, which is the gas that we use to cook. So most of it was in Accra. There was none in the north. There was none in even the Ashanti region. So it was really difficult to get it to be successful. So we failed quite a bit there. And then we looked at, because we wanted the business to continue, we looked at the next best or the easiest thing to do within the sector, and that would be kerosene. So there was kerosene, and it was easy to add diesel and PMS to it, and we started a distribution. When we were able to raise some money, or the business was growing, we added storage facilities because that was capital intensive and we needed quite a bit of money to do that. So we went on and built storage facilities around Ghana. And I'm happy to say that we were the first female-led organization to do that. And we probably still are the only one that did. Inti asembe briba me kind and say, ye free na yenya me see kofa kerosene gas ne mra ne mfanko srim no. Ye started see no na edin because what the gas na ba and can see enya baby a ye bu gas e wo ho. E see enya baby a gas no ye di gum e wo ho e bi ni ho. Inti me too no na me ba na me say me kofa bi aba no. anye yie. Ba na me mpese me gyae adwuma no ye. Nti na me hwehwɛ okay, nti we anye yie die he na metumi aye. Na me hu say ubeto crazy in beba no easier. Ti ye start ye non kakra. And ye di petrol car ho, and ye di diesel car ho. And after ye started say ye see filling station in kete. And ye gugu sa. A drew point being a me ye adom. After near to me see tank akesiye. Near ye. To the point that Ghana and Kasano na plane be tour. Fuel na ko plane no. Na ye ni baby ye tumi edi fuel egu plane mu ye will be paketwa ne kwame nkruma mo ye no eno ana na da so ho inti na planes ne ba omunya fuel ni bi nti omukọ Abidjan eko fa fuel ana omukọ Nigeria eko fa fuel inti me koy na me ko kan se hwe ye be sibi na say we true no Shell waha BP waha na that time Shell BP Total akese ni na omo ntumi NCB oh yendi girl oh jawasem na say hwe monte ni aba eni ni na mu ye hwehwe sika ye de beye ye hwehwe sika na eden ye ni sika na nso ye call airport company ye ni omo ko pray ya nso okay betwa asase ama oman asase na afi ni ye me nuanem keto ahasa mo be kan 1 year 1 block na 1 year 1 block EDC enne Ghana baby a se wo ko Mecca wo ko Dubai akofa neoma wo ko baby a mu fuel no sane ya e ko play mu a play no tumi yefo ne mu nua ba a free end na CEO inti hwi ni wa se wo de wadwen ya se wo be ya ntumi nye
simple ideas. Simple solutions, but a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work. Oh, for those of you who didn't understand. So what I just said was that, yes, there was a need. And wherever we found a need, we try to find solutions. We failed several times along the way. With the LPG, the gas for cooking, there wasn't enough storage, there wasn't infrastructure, so we couldn't, it didn't work out the way we had planned it. But we didn't want to leave the sector, so we looked at the next best thing. And the next best thing was trying to supply kerosene and kerosene stoves so that my relatives up in the north, in the rural areas, could have ease of cooking. And then with that, we realized there were other opportunities, and we started distributing petrol, diesel, and we kept building as we went along. And in the process, I just told them a big one. In the process, we were able to build the much needed infrastructure. And I told them that I built the first Ghanaian-owned jet fuel tank farm in Ghana. Prior to that, the ones that we had in Ghana was built 60-something years ago during independence, and it was built by the big majors, the Shell, the Total, the BP, the Chevron, the Ajip, which is today E&I. But we did it. We did it.
So, before I go on to ask you about a mother's heart, I think there are a lot of businesses here that are looking to go global. You talked about the fact that you had to raise money and go global. What kind of strategic partnerships did you have to form to even go global, and how did you raise money?
Really? It's really difficult. It's still difficult, even on, it is difficult. For some reason, it's easier for men to raise money than women. And this is a global issue. It's not just
for some
Ghana.
reason. It is the truth.
And
Do
it's not
you agree, sir? Right? It's easier for men, like...
to bring it home, in Ghana, obisa asem ose ye pese ye di ye dwuma no eco global, meaning that ye nyane Ghana pe ye di ko kro foforo na wodi be ko kro foforo wo be hia sika be nya dwetrie na se wo nya wo hwehwe dwetrie na ehefa na wo be nya dwetrie no. How do you go about it? How be nya dwetrie? Well, near me kind say enough Edding, papa. It's not easy, it's difficult, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. For the purposes of my sisters, I believe forming the network and the association, that's why we have Florence. She needs to support us. I understand that for every administration that comes in Ghana, we are truthful. For every administration that, whether it's NDC, my MPP sisters here, they should look at supporting, having an institution. I've heard this administration is trying to do it, where we have a bank for women.
Yes, I heard that too.
A bank for women. That would be the most ideal situation. But since we don't have that, family, friends, saving, and keeping records. Nyamekaine say, Obia ba no more pesi eto aba ma omo a ombekeka nsem huhuhu na nso omo moayen. Mate say omo aba ne so omo na omo se omo beye bank a ebeboa ema anka omutumi ya ebeboa yen pa nanso yemfa yeni nto omo so nti yeni na omo ya yeni beji yebeto ama wo but so omo anya yankasa na yesi ehwe sene ya yebeya yebenye sika no na yede ahye ye adwuma mu yɛbɛyɛ ni yenye sika no nea mekan ne sɛ abusua yɛsika nketenkete a yɛbɛnya instead of yɛde yɛsika bɛkɔ akɔtɔ lace akɔ awre sɛ sika no yɛmmoaboa no ɛna bibia yɛbɛyɛ bia yɛtumi twerɛ ɛto hɔ a sɛ yɛma no yɛma mo kɔ school yankɔ bi kura a yɛkɔ makaranta yetumi twerɛ ensɛm ni bi to hɔ na yetumi de akɔ yetumi kɔ bank me pɛsɛ Auntie Florence and obe free ha no or set up committee obi o ha bia na adwuma o pɛsɛ ekɔ anim no otumi ba no obebisa sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a yɛbɛboa. But before that ne yankasa no yɛntwerɛ ne yɛyɛ nti sɛ metɔn kose no beans no metoni bia 10 cedis me de nneoma am de bekeka ho anwa metoni sei meton say na minyae. Keeping records is essential because say was our record na se yetumi kɔ baby a ye mesika na ye kyerɛ mo say ne yeton na yemfa me pese mo be ma me sika na metumi ama madwuma no enyi. Unfortunately eya omumfi yen but enedue yemu a ye wa ha yi me di medin sim Auntie Florence beka ho yem nuanom omumfi America ba ye beka ho ye nyina be gina na etu pon se ye beboa mo bia adwuma akwa anim asem o kan no ntumi nyi ano because me eyi ano na mpese me yi ano no munti e na me yi ano nye omo te omo office no omo mu ni me ye deda inti ne hu hiante yesi yetumi kyerɛ because Auntie Florence cry ye kɔ ne hɔ a obeka sɛ okay woton lele emfa sɛ lele na woton me pe lele pa inti woton lele nimpa san e na beto lele ni wo hɔ omoto ne san woto ne san wunya wo he woton a ahin na wunya ɛse wunya bibi e de kyerɛ no. Say you call empanimfo ne hɔ a yɛbɛka sɛ ɔmo financial records ɛne ɔmo adwuma ɛne nea ɔmo ayɛ a ɛkyerɛ sɛ wodi sika ne ma ɔmo a ɔmo betumi atua anaa adwuma ne bɛyɛ yie nti ɛno ho hia. And to go to my sisters from the US, there is no easy way to raise capital, but to ensure that you have the records, your back office is solid enough that you don't have revenue leaks, and you can present that to the financial institutions, and let's hope that they support. It would be great and ideal if we had a network, and I advocate for this all the time. We have a network of women who would want to support each other. Have a woman-led fund that looks at individual businesses and give funding. But if we want to go the conventional way, record keeping for me, my experience, that is the most critical, because what they're looking at is records.
Okay. So tell us about the Mother's Heart Foundation and why you decided to establish it and what it does.
Mother's Heart Foundation has been in existence for the last 2 decades.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been in existence for the last 2 decades. And again, it's a matter of need. So it's a personal journey. I come from a background where faith and giving back is essential and part of us. This is one thing that is beautiful about Ghana. Tolerance, yeah. My mom is a Christian Methodist, and my father is Muslim. My mom was one of his wives. She doesn't like to hear that. She was the one of the younger wives, and both sides believed in giving back. So it was just natural for me to want to give back as well. And interestingly, Mother's Heart started when someone, a charity organization that we supported, we used to support. I didn't think they even knew us, because what we did was typical. On my Islamic side, before Ramadan, before fasting actually, it was typical in my household where we would distribute food items. And to continue that tradition, I would just buy quite a bit of bags of rice, what's not, and send it to different orphanages. On my Christian side, Matthew talks about what we should do, feed the poor. So for me, it came natural. But there was a week that someone was sitting in my office, and she had been waiting the whole day. So the staff came in and said, look, this woman has been here all day and she wouldn't go, and she wants to see you. I was like, who is she? They didn't know. And I was like, well, I'm not available. By the time I was leaving the office, and was close to 8 p.m., she was still there. When I was leaving, she said, I've been waiting for you. And I was like, do I know you? She said, you don't, but I know you. And I was like, what is it? She said, I've stayed here this long because if you don't give us food or you don't give us something, the kids won't eat. I said, which kids? She said, the ones that you send. I know you are the ones who's been sending us food. They were it was an orphanage, in Krubodumase. And I was like, we have, because we don't put our name, nothing. It's just a truck that goes and offload the food and come. She said, if you don't give us, we would not eat, because these kids don't have anything to eat. So to cut the long story short, we ended up trying to regularize it, and that's how Mother's Heart started. And for the last 2 decades, I'm happy to say that we not only have a feeding program where we give warm meals in various areas in Ghana. Our heaviest time was during COVID, but we don't advertise because we're not doing it for advertisement. We don't. We've educated quite a few. One of my proud moments is a young lady who went to medical school. We have another one who's in medical school now. We've been able to produce engineers, doctors, professionals, and we're just happy about it. We also have some women that we've supported with seed money to grow their business. One of them distributes charcoal. I'm trying to get her to get out of the business, but she's not listening. She distributes charcoal, and she's grown quite big. She brings the charcoal from the north. So yeah, that's what we do.
So you give seed money, you provide education fund, you
we
provide
do hard meal, healthcare,
meals, hard meals,
healthcare,
accommodation.
Yes.
What don't you do? And let's give her a big round of applause for that. Wow, Salma. Yeah, that's so why a mother's heart? Why do you call it a mother's heart?
It's a mother's heart, again, woman. It's a mother who understands the pain of her children. It's a mother who, let me put it in a way that speaks to my soul and I understand better, and that is to say, Obatime. Obatime is nurturing. She feeds, she supports not only her biological children, but any child. Obatime is what mother's heart is. One who feels the pain or the need and fulfills the need of what God has given her, the kids that she has.
So it's an innate.
And it's an innate
deep
thing.
from your belly.
Yes, from the belly.
Deep
and that's
from your
most
belly.
mothers.
Wow. I think that is phenomenal.
Thank you.
I wish more people would do that.
Thank you.
So let's bring it back to business now. For women entrepreneurs and professionals aspiring to take their business global, what are some of the practical steps they should begin taking now to position themselves for international success?
Well, if I'm talking about going global, there are a few groups, yeah? For my sisters in Mamobi, Newtown, and the other ones I love the most. For them, I believe what they should do is figure out which of the businesses they are really passionate about. Let's look at the numbers together and figure out how to take it global. Now, taking it global requires that you've kept your records. We've looked at the markets. We've done our numbers. Because I can assure them that there is a need globally for what they provide for us in Ghana. Because what they provide for us in Ghana is the same thing that the younger me and the younger you and the other Ghanaians who are in the diaspora need, right? So if we can package it, then we can send it global. Having a network of people who would support that growth is essential. For the other group who have the back office set up, who have the infrastructure in place, finding the niche, finding what their niche is and finding partnership. Partnerships are probably the easiest way to go global. If I take someone who has for example, an HR business in Ghana. The talents pool in Ghana, it's been said that Africa has the youngest pop demographic. So the talent pool is critical for the West. We can provide that service, but we have to find a partner in the diaspora worlds to do that with.
So you're saying you have to keep records.
Keep records.
You have to be very deliberate
intentional
about your partnerships. So it's not just a question of skill and talent alone. You also need some organization and a strategic partnership
Absolutely.
to take your
Absolutely.
business to
Absolutely.
the next. So then my last question would be, looking back on your journey, what achievement are you most proud of? And what legacy do you hope to leave for the next generation of African women leaders?
The first was, what am I proud of, right?
Yes.
My most achievement.
What achievement are you most proud of?
Professional.
I know Mother's Heart would be like
yeah.
But
the fact that, and I've said this, I think, on different platforms, the fact that I am a true African woman who is nurturing and takes care of the home, and you cannot shut me down, has gotten me to be where I am today. So just persevering, dedication, perseverance gets us where we want to be. So my most achievement is what I have done in Ghana. The fact that we were able to do what nobody else, well, at least I don't know anyone else who has done it, who started a business that was able to attract global partners, one of the top 4 in the energy sector, to come and partner with us. That is, I think, the biggest achievement that I feel I have had so far. And we were able to do a deal. I can't disclose too much, but actually on the internet there are so many that is not. That's most of it is not correct. That it's not correct, and I'm not allowed. I can't. You don't want them to sue me, do you? But we were the first one to be able to do such a deal, offloading 49%, because we still have majority Ghanaian shareholding. It was a multi-million-dollar deal. That, professionally, I think is one of the biggest achievements we've had. And the fact that the majors, the Shell, the Total, the BP, the Chevron, the Ajibs, were here for so long and weren't able, not that they weren't able, they didn't put the right infrastructure that we needed for our aviation business. And we did, that little girl who was running around from Yendi, around Nima, Mamobi, Newtown, were able to do that. That makes me happy, and I'd say that is it. That's it.
Wow. And what would you want your legacy to be for young women?
Look, I have a group of women that I am so proud of. There are young women who are doing major things. I feel like they're going to do so much better than I have. They're already achieving strides and they are Ghanaians. I have some who are not Ghanaian, but I'll talk about the Ghanaian ones. There is Yasmin Kumi, who set up AFG. AFG started as a consulting firm. She came from McKinsey, and she set up AFG to fill the gap. Again, filling the gap, because not all of us can pay a PwC or one of the big four, those ones, to support. So she set up to try and fill the gap and help people like my sisters here and other small businesses to scale, providing business consultancy and all that stuff. Now, I was happy to support her because if I had that support, a lot of the revenue leaks and the issues I had, I wouldn't have had them. I'd have been able to avoid them. So it was interesting for me it was a pleasure for me to support her. There's Emily Mante, who, you went to Northwestern, didn't you? Did you? Oh, okay. So she went to Northwestern. She's also from Ghana. Worked in corporate America, Wall Street. Worked in the healthcare sector. Became a clinical trial something, and now she's set up. She has one. She's partnered with someone. They set up one in Ethiopia, and she's trying to set up one here. There's Amanete, who's a geologist. She works with ENI. She was at some point stationed in Milan, and she's a geologist for ENI. I mean, she's a woman. So for me, legacy, or what I would like to leave, is to continue having a network of women like that who support each other and pay forward. And these women are doing amazing. There's another one I like to mention, because she made this for me. Sadia Sanusi, she's
that dress I'm taking.
Yeah, she made this. She's in the creative space. Most of the people, young people, would know her. And she's grounded. She actually did a talk at in LBS recently, and I think she's done one somewhere in the US. Was it Johns Hopkins? I don't remember. Giving back. So if I can continue to build on that network, pathways for these women to pay forward. I give them what I have. We feed off each other. They say I'm their mentor, but I learn more from them than I think they learn from me. And create that strong network and keep paying it forward. I mean, there are 10 women, and those 10 women, each one picks 4 women to support, to grow. And then those 4 keep picking and keep going on. Having people like you to come in and support, I think we can achieve what we want to do. That would be the legacy I would want, with the exception of Mother's Heart.
So you've spoken at Harvard University Business School. You've been in Vogue. You've been in Forbes. You've done all of these things. And when I ask you what your legacy wants to be, is pouring into other women and making sure you're creating pathways for those women. So we come back to where we started. Salma with a big heart, a mother's heart, and also with a missionary and a missionary mentality and one of service. So what would you want to be your final concluding remarks here? What is your advice to all these women and those online that are watching?
Women, we know we're an integral part to the growth of any community. Luckily for us in Africa, we have what our sisters and brothers who are in the diaspora don't have, and that is community and togetherness. Having the support, of people around you. It bothers me that it seems we're losing it. With this generation, we've started losing it gradually. And I would implore everyone here to try and hold on to it. Do your bits to ensure that we keep that community. we help our sister if she has a baby, but she has to run and go and sell her cocoa. Let's help her with the baby while she's gone. If we're home, as minimum as that, it goes a long way. And those of us in the corporate sector, let's watch out for each other. Because really and truly, if we want to build a community of peace, of growth, of joy, we should support each other. Because if we do it for ourselves, the women, it translates to our husbands, our sons, our brothers, and so forth. I truly believe in that. And before we leave here, I want these women, my sisters here, to hold the organizers to get Florence and the other women. There is a lady who spoke. She was translating. She's a business consultant.
She's sitting in the back. She's with a national. Can you stand up, please? She did a wonderful translation.
She did an amazing job.
Can you come and tell us your name so everybody will know you? We didn't introduce her properly.
She did amazing. And if we have women like that who we can hold to support us in establishing, identifying the gaps in our businesses, I believe we can do more than we're doing now.
Okay, so my name is Nicolina Na Yeye Adumwa. I wear many hats. I'm a chartered marketer, chartered insurance expert. I'm a project expert. I do mediation. I'm a reverend minister. Recently, I was ordained as a pastor. I am also the president of the Chartered Insurance Ladies Association Ghana. When she said when I heard Nigeria, I said, woo, because just last month, I hosted 46 insurance women from Nigeria in a conference here in Ghana. Next year, we're looking at West Africa because I'm also the vice president for the Insurance Women Association of Africa. And so I resonate very well. And so these things we are talking about, I'm very much on the ground as well. Next month, I'm leading my women insurers to go to the market to do education. I like practical things. And so that is why it tickled me to come, and I do the language. It will interest you to know that I'm here all the way from Central Region because of this conference I was introduced to.
Wow.
I live and work in Central Region because I am in charge of the National Insurance Commission for Central Region. I'm the head of the region.
Wow, that is
I wear
impressive.
many hats. But when you come to a place like this, you don't blow your horns. You only give and impart. And that is me. I like to give and impart.
Thank you, Nicolina.
And so what we are doing is very important. And we will do more when we have the opportunity because God has given us what it takes to do. And I'm here to support anytime you call.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Don't go yet. Yedase. Bebreba ya can say, yeah, me beko ye pon me beko nti ye me de na pon na me free ha no ade anka menya ya me ne say maami we onim business mu asem bebre sane ye ye paperwork ne ade na ye tumpon ne akwa anim nti ono Auntie Florence any ye nuanom omo ha ye betumi aboa ne me kan say yen tumpon say nya se aye conference ewie ne ye kona afa ye rewe aye mu hwe yentum pon say na yenye adwen baako say Auntie Florence ono baby owo no sika wo ho na adwuma nti ontumi nka oye ni papa ni pa o oye pani papa baby owo no ye ka asem o ka say obi ebepa adwuma wo ne ho na baby bepa adwuma no ukwa brochire America esikafo te say mate papa ne yefre no Elon Musk no omonom ne ade ho na omusika ko nanso okoka wa ha ne ho be kire no omo adwuma mu abrofo mo atwerotwero ntumi nkoka sei nti minim se baby a owo no emwa bi kakra wo ho a obetumi de aboa yen wo ha maami we su nim sene a yekwa anim pa me kakra minim no me nana ne efre ne me ko se nti kakra minim no metumi e de aboa muhu hia me pa mo na muhu hia me ba na me ka se me behwe o te so no tram se we mo kra no ba me ba me hu mo no mani ji age nti yem free ha enko a yenya emfaso obi na me pa mo cho mamungu mani mo ase.
Oh, before you even finish, I have to tell you, sir, we are offering money this evening. We have a pitch competition. We are giving seed money to 3 business women today. Until we are pitch competition, and then we give people the chance. But I also wanted to say, also this is the 6th conference I am.
Yes.
Every time we are people, we don't have a place to send people to in Ghana because chamber no office or America. Ye be office or Ghana.
Fantastic.
Ye be office or
Fantastic.
Ghana.
Fantastic.
About information no. Ye be office or East Legon. Chese ye be 20 munyina me pacho. Son or can we have to be organized. And Timon join the chamber no. Na bibi ewo ho bia make us say we have. I need to find 25 Ghanaian products. Yeah, they be call America.
Mate.
So
more 25 Ghanaian products.
Me buy me time because sabio. Organizing these things is very time consuming.
Yes, exactly.
But I have to think of the impact. Say yeah, make us say anyway. Make us a baby. Enti ye be office wo ha no me papa no share green coat na wa share kuli high no. Mo fa mo information na ma no. Na mo so that we have a path to funnel information through to you. There also I can ye be a committee no because I'm very passionate.
And then be free hand ye na ube tro wudin. Ye be tro papa no mo gini din ye be hu office ho no. Omundi se hu no mo anya me ye me bo mu dede na ya tro waka asem bi ma na ye me de se ope nioma e free Ghana 25 na odi akọ abrochire minim si ebetumi aye bebre ayoyo me ka nioma me aduane nioma kra ne bedoso ana me boa.
But what I'm trying to say is the reason we need to be organized is some contracts nearby so soon. Maybe a one person.
And to me,
until next week, yeah, trade mission. I'm hoping, sir, you GEPA, Women's Bank, Exim Bank for Nobeka. No move to me so that they can give a man of support now.
Pacho.
So that moment you may take
say yebe no na anso yenso ana meboa inti ye pese yenya ye wa ha na ye twro ye din ni e hold papa no obia musoma nkogum anim asio adwuma na mode be ba na say ye adwuma etimpo pa na ye nyina so yetumi eso mu mi ntwa mete nya sa anka ticket ya mitwitwa bae anka mde boa na mde ma menu anu kra gebe o mode ma betena ha na enso onso de mempene ana meboa musoma mungum animu asio mami wa ha onim sania me ne minim se meton ade kaasoa me ade ton na minim ba ono onim sania wo ton ade na senia obetwo senia omo abrofo no mebisa se kofa paper we bra kofa onimu eno ye nti mpese metwe no na ono eboa senia ebeye paper no na meso senia ebeye kaso ade yen ye de wo yen enimu ye meboa Niemu nimu a esme de ka ho no me de be ka ho. Na maami we so aboa en ni sikasem. Na omo ka ho omo ba en so aboa en sane ya ye nioma no ye betumi aton e wa amanene. Why?
Okay.
Because I regulate insurance companies. Yahoo bebre say amount for insurance I say inti who business who ye insurance ama wo business de ya kan ye de be fa ye de beto ye so na ya kire wo insurance wo betumi aye afa wo business no se ne be ya bibia business bibi touch ma insurance mo aye na wo won so ebeba and sanso na say insurance for 1 year de wo say wo ya eba ye ho because I regulate so eba so na ma fa kwan so metwe wo ma so na mabisa wo say de enti na wasam ni bae omo nhwe nti ne nyina ye beboa. I have just told myself I'll say I will be committed to this.
Okay.
Me and my sister say onra eno ni ye kasa ni Dr. Stay to I think he introduced me to the group. Thank you.
Pacha, I have a very important announcement. Mo year pitch competition. Monfa mo pitch a document. Mo email ma. Sorry. Yeah, artwork in any bibia, as I say, you're projecting on the screen. Some more year way now. It's me, Pacha Mungu Daniel.
Pitch competition, and what you say?
Sir, yeah, Bobaka will be so. I said, no, yeah, almost try how on Begiscano. Now, Bella, don't shake your head. You saw Angel do a demonstration of the pitch. The story, those things, that's the pitch competition.
But
no, like say ABI, you have a logo for your business, BB, you just send it to them and then they will just,
yeah,
I mean, they don't need it, but it's good to advertise your business.
Pitch competition na mpamucho pitch competition and say where dwuma na wo ye no wo be ka ho asem wa ha se sa dwuma na me ye na dwuma na me ye no ebi a mihia 20,000 and 30,000 Ghana cedis na sa 30,000 me nya se no me ton ade a me mfa so 1,000 bosome ba sa mo de 30,000 ne ma me a menya me won kofo mbe ba beto ade o me ho inti me mfa so obedu 5,000 inti me mfa so ni do 5,000 a minim se say enye bosia omo de chemo ya de chew inti mom boa me inti nipa be obia be ba ka na adwuma na nipa bebre be ka adwuma na nipa me ensa pe ne be ma wo nipa me ensa no mbe nya sika nti I say competition oh nti wo ba be ka nti ese mo ka mo adwuma ne yie ne se mudi ntro mbe chimu o ba ese mo ka ne yie na mo kire se sei ni what I say eno nkire se wenya sika ne bia wunya bibi wa ha biom e kire se wenya be ka no maame na obegina ha no anti Florence ne nkan ye ne obetena se mo amanya sika kunu bi kura no ye ne obetena se ne aboa mo okay wo de no sei ni na eso ye next time ye be ma o ba ye sei ni ye be boa o senia next time e betumi aboa why
it's an opportunity for you don't know the onusutia every obeka so even though so when we need pitch competition I like what she's doing it who knows maybe our mother's heart you don't know why. Okay, Pacho, did you enjoy this conversation? Me Pacho, it is Auntie Sama. What Tina play more Abahanumo? Do you think it was a good thing? Okay. How many of you need mother's heart information? Okay. Ovia baby.
It will be made available. It will be made available. Yeah, Jumana, yeah, mother's house, yeah, model, yeah, yeah, share omo omu here. Omo omoni mother's heart, yeah, Juma omoko, ekope ma to say Auntie Rose mo, Bradonko, Same, Yakubu, Omuninano, Emmanuel, Omuninano, Yentia Omoka. Omo ye volunteers. Inti omoko omuhu obi na so muhu se ampa nimpa no ohia someone na omo abeka na asem omo beka omo a omo tena city asem no omo na mabobo omudi omo tena asem no we asem o adin o we okay nsi we yenhwe nyo bia na ema because he can sha every ebusia ne nko a nti but yeah make I say da no ne ye numbers say omo a ya boa mo no mbro 10,000 umbro 10,000 but again you have to say that's been over 2 decades and I check I start say kakran sa.
Well, Yadamo say, me pacho, yes, it's still lunching by and but coffee no outside, any muffins. And you know, I apologize, said you are in Beduya, but I'm quite so about why. And thank you for your patience. Yeah, let us give Salma a big round of applause. And I want to remind you, sir, this evening, so Benya Award, awards then I know you better Tank Palace. And as I said, mobile for I know we are raising funds for pediatric cancer. I know you have spoken to that Dr. Tanya Tripet a lot.
Yes.
She's the one sitting quietly in the back, raising funds for cancer treatment. No why? Anything Pacho, you can go outside and get coffee in muffins, nibi. Hopefully, Adrianine Beba says, yeah. But Adrianina ma, you better also. But Adrianine Beba, I apologize on behalf of Ketrano. Why?
Asem we na okana minim se me nuanom na ewo ha ne yenim aduane ye pa me boa nti bibi sei no na nka yen ne ase ye aduane ana me boa mo anya ade